On the show today, Liberty basketball faces number 5 Indiana, and hear the story of the man who's rebuilding the Flames program.
Plus, we catch up with one of the fastest rising stars in racing to hear what drives him to be the best. That's all ahead on this edition of Game On.
What's up? Welcome to Game On. Given that it's Thanksgiving weekend, we're more than thankful than ever, really, that you've decided to join us alongside of Tom Selleck. I am Matt Warner.
Quality duster.
That it is.
Hey, I'm thankful for this great show we're about to have, including a huge basketball matchup against one of the most storied programs in the country.
Yeah, and that's where we begin today. The Flames, for the first time ever, squared off with number 5 Indiana. They will play in Bloomington at the famed Assembly Hall. A big moment for this young group of players. No doubt it'll be a memory that they never forget, although there may be some things they'll choose not to remember from this one. Indiana is really good. There's the striped pants. You gotta love those. Indiana with a roster full of NBA prospects. They go on a 24-point run in the first half to jump on top 39-7. James Blackman Jr. had 20 to lead the way for them. There were some bright spots for the Flames, however. Ray Chen came off the bench to lead them in scoring with 8. And in the second half, Liberty seemed to settle in offensively, scoring 29 points after the break, as opposed to only 19 in the first half. Liberty would also force 26 turnovers, but in the end, it was the Hoosiers showing why they're one of the top programs in the land as they cruised to an 87-48 victory.
It's the third game of the year. I mean, not freaking out about it. I mean, we have a young squad and it's November 19th or something like that. So, but we did a much better job in the second half of doing what we should do.
I think what we can take away, if anything, is, look, if you want to be a team that's going to contend at a high level, you got to play with great teamwork, great unselfishness, with physical strength and a really tough mindset like Indiana did.
Well, you just heard from Flames head coach Richie McKay. Over the years, the coaching profession has led him to many different places where he's achieved much success. But he would be quick to tell you that his accomplishments have not been his alone. There have been numerous men throughout his journey that have helped him get to where he is today, a place in which he can now help those who are walking a similar path.
I heard it said at a Final Four one time that, boy, it was a powerful moment, that every young man, every young boy needs 3 things from his dad. He needs approval, he needs acceptance, and he needs affirmation. And when I heard that, I thought, I'm doing a decent job as a dad. My boys they're healthy, they're walking strong, but boy, I did a quick 180 and started to reflect on, wait a minute, that's not just for my sons, but that's for the young men that we get the privilege of coaching, that we're called to shepherd. My dad was my role model. I wanted to be just like him. I even slept with his scrapbook, pictures of his high school and college days under my pillow. He played at the University of New Mexico, and he would always tell us that the only way we were going to college is if we got a scholarship, so we better practice.
And practice he did. Basketball became Richie McKay's passion.
There was an infrastructure set in our family, whether it was healthy or not, that you had to compete to win. And I feel like that was healthy in a lot of ways. I acquired some disciplines from that.
McKay's competitive drive led him to a top Arizona junior college before he eventually landed that coveted scholarship at Seattle Pacific University. McKay's time at SPU developed more than just his jump shot, it also strengthened his Christian faith, and he found a mentor in head coach Claude Terry.
He was such an unbelievable man. He's the first man that I ever met who actually read the Bible that was sitting on his desk. I was someone that really didn't grow up with my dad in my home. My mom and dad were divorced. So I wasn't used to men, speaking to me the way some coaches did. And Coach Terry was different. He would talk to me one-on-one. He would understand my shoes that I'd walked in.
McKay's time at Seattle Pacific set a solid foundation for what God had next.
My college coach, Claude Terry, said, hey, I think you'd be good at this coaching thing. Why don't you apply as a graduate assistant at the University of Washington? And I said, okay, I'll do it, just because I liked him. But I didn't really think of coaching.
But McKay had a knack for it and eventually landed at Bradley University as an assistant. While there, he was encouraged to seek out legendary Wisconsin Green Bay head coach Dick Bennett for basketball insight. It turned out to be a pivotal moment in McKay's career.
I sat down with him and started taking notes, and what was supposed to be 15 minutes turned into about an hour and 45 to 2 hours. And I'm telling you, it marked my coaching career because it gave me a sense of encouragement that here's a man who has done a lot with just a little bit of talent, was an underdog, but he held on to who he was in Christ and his faith. He was a Christian before he was a coach. Coach Bennett established the pillars, if you will, and you'll see it in a myriad of locker rooms across the country, Division I, Division II. And I remember picking up those pillars, and they were humility, passion, unity, servanthood, and thankfulness. And I thought, man, if I ever become a head coach, these are going to be near and dear to my heart.
Shortly thereafter, McKay would get his shot at Portland State, a school resurrecting their basketball program.
I got the Portland State job because no one else wanted it. We got a chance to really just sell our vision, and guys were coming just because of our faith. And it was really neat to be able to birth a program from scratch and have the young men that we have believe in us enough to come and play and serve us in a mighty way. It was really quick success, and I'd be less than honest if I didn't say my competition problem was rearing its ugly head, because I wanted more. I wanted to go to the NCAA tournament. I wanted to be like Coach Bennett. So I probably didn't enjoy the fruits of our labor as much. I was ready to keep climbing the worldly success ladder, but and that continued on for a couple of years or a couple of jobs after that. So I'm kind of on the fast track, if you will. I'm at Colorado State, and we had a pretty successful 2-year stint there. And we came home after a big win, and my dad called me from California where he lived, and he broke the news to me that he had stage 4 cancer. The news hit me like a ton of bricks, and he didn't know how long he had, but he didn't think it was more than a year.
Following that news, McKay took the head job at Oregon State to be closer to his ailing father. Shortly after arriving, his father's condition worsened. McKay would get one last chance to make an eternal difference.
I got to see him before he died, and my dad was a great man, but he didn't know Christ until the last day of his life, and I got to be a part of that. So, but what he did for me in terms of instilling values and the way he treated people was something I'll take to my grave. And his decision in the midnight hour to accept Christ really gives me the confidence that no one's exempt from God's mighty hand. And my dad lived a good life and was very well respected, but he didn't live a complete life until the last day when he made that decision.
But in the midst of heartbreak, a new opportunity would arise.
To get that call was like, oh my gosh, if my dad could see me now.
McKay was handed the reins at the University of New Mexico, his dad's alma mater. It was a dream job, and McKay was reinvigorated. The Lobos would make the NCAA tournament in his 3rd season, but something just wasn't right.
I kind of lost my way. I felt so much pressure to make the McKay name great, because of my love for my dad and the love for the program, that I started maybe taking a shortcut or two in who I recruited, or even in my own daily life. I started to become more isolated. I got on an island, and I was living for the praise and the approval of man.
After 6 seasons and despite a winning record, McKay was let go. He moved on to Liberty University, relishing the chance to excel in a Christian environment. He would win quickly, leading the Flames to a record-tying 23 wins in his 2nd season. But God had other plans, and it began with a call from his good friend and New Virginia coach, Tony Bennett.
I thought Richie would, hire me someday. I never thought I'd have the opportunity to hire him.
I keep hearing that we're to go and serve instead of being served. I had some phenomenal assistants who had served me, and Tony just asked that we could go and build something special. And all throughout the Bible, you see God sends 2 by 2, because it was really hard to leave Liberty. And it was hard to go back to being an assistant coach.
He really did humble himself, and he said, I want to come. He felt called to it. He said, I want to come, and he used the word a lot, serve you. I want to like share with you the things that I've learned. It was really a powerful time. Our relationship grew, and he helped me immensely.
It was different. It never once looked like, especially in those first 2 years when we were just an average team, I didn't think it was going to be, I didn't think it was going to look like this. Yeah, but it was better because it taught me how to legitimately serve. It got me back to center again, if you will. I got a chance to be much better in my home as a dad, as a husband, and I got to reinvest in players and really kind of disciple them in more of a one-on-one setting.
But after 6 seasons in a rebuilt UVA program, it was time for McKay to come home. He was rehired as Liberty's head coach and now brings with him a fresh outlook.
Maybe 2 months into the job, I started to realize what this campus really reflects. It's the body of Christ. And I think it's an honor to be a part of that. None of us perfect, absolutely none of us, but we're all intentional in striving to be able to accomplish something bigger than ourselves. And to me, that's what it's all about.
As he builds the Flames program, McKay can't predict how many banners they'll hang or nets they'll cut down, but he does make one promise.
If you go through the doors at the Vines, you will see a team that is fun to watch, that represents who we are as an athletic department, as a university. And for that, I love that. To me, it's the foundation to what's to come.
Thanks to Jonah Jabor for producing that piece. Well, last week, the Liberty football team wrapped up its regular season, and they did so on the big stage, a game broadcast nationally on ESPN News. The opponent, longtime rival Coastal Carolina. Now, it's always tough to play in Conway, and that would certainly be true on this night. Liberty fell behind 28-0 before this freshman-to-freshman connection. Buckshot Calvert finding Antonio Gandy Golden for the 38-yard touchdown strike right before the half. Unfortunately, that would be the Flames' lone score of the night. They fall 42-7. Liberty ends its season with a record of 6-5 and a share of the program's 8th Big South title. Staying with football, how about a couple of former Flames making a name for themselves in the pros? Big day for New York Giants running back Rashad Jennings. Rashad rushed for 85 yards on 21 carries while also scoring his 2nd touchdown of the season. He'd also chip in with 44 yards receiving as he helped the G-men to a win over the Bears. Former Flames defensive back turned special teams ace Walt Aikens took part in the victory as well as his Dolphins beat the Rams. In the game, Aikens recorded 1 tackle. And that's a look at your Flames in the pros.
Well, moving on over to volleyball, the Flames volleyball team entered the Big South Championships this past week against High Point. It would be a battle of the 2 and 3 seeds who split the regular season series against one another. This contest would be a battle of 2 titans. It would go a full 5 sets with Leah Clayton doing what Leah Clayton does, killing the ball. She would end the game with a career-high 26 kills and 19 digs. Unfortunately, it wouldn't be enough as High Point would win the 5th set, 15-11, and would advance on to the finals where they would defeat Radford. It was a tough way for the Flames to end the season, but overall a fantastic year for a young and up-and-coming group. Well, coming up, we bring you the story of one of the best up-and-coming racers in NASCAR.
And Rhett keeps us on our toes with another edition of Warm, Hot, and Fuego. Game on, coming right back.
For more than 4 decades, Liberty University has been redefining success by molding leaders who believe in living out their calling with integrity. We don't just focus on how something is done, but why it should be done. As an accredited liberal arts institution, Liberty offers a broad range of opportunities, balancing academic theory, research, and hands-on training. Liberty's classroom extends well beyond the borders of our campus to a global community of online students who have access to the same quality education as our on-campus students. Excellence at Liberty also plays out on the field through 20 NCAA Division I teams and 35 club sports teams. Our faith inspires us to understand the world around us. Liberty graduates leave here prepared for more than a career. They leave prepared for life. Be more at Liberty University.
Anyone who may be doubting being able to go back to school or doing online and having time, I would say LU Online is the best way to go. I'm 31, this was my 4th degree, you can get it done. I changed jobs in the middle of it. It's possible, it's flexible. So many people are like, oh, it's another degree, I don't know if I can do this, or even their first time going to school, getting a bachelor's or an associate's. It's worth it, especially if you do have to work, because so many of us today, we don't have the means to not work and go to school. I feel like LU Online allows us to do that. My experience with the online professors has been really good, and they're all over the world. They have different hours, yes, as far as time zones, but they said email them, call them, you could Skype with them, you could FaceTime with them. So it was really kind of nice. You know, Sunday night you're working on a paper, hey, you had a question, you can email your professor, and they would respond right back. I feel like LU Online allows time and the flexibility to do what you need to do in life and in work while getting your degree.
Pleased and optimistic today. Pleased and optimistic today.
Hey there, welcome back. Well, if you watch this show or if you're a fan of racing, you're probably already familiar with the name William Byron. He was just named Camping World Truck Series Rookie of the Year. He's an 18-year-old racing phenom who is sponsored by Liberty University. And recently, he gave us special access to one of his 7 wins this season and a look into what makes him so special.
His name is William Byron, the winningest rookie in the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series. Lately, he's been racking up some pretty impressive wins, but now that he's at the head of the pack, can he keep his lead? Well, so far the answer is yes, and William Byron continues breaking records for Kyle Busch Motorsports.
That competitiveness and coming out on top is really important. It drives me to try and get those checkered flags and try and get more victories. It's a neat part of our sport that it is so difficult to win because there are so many cars out there that have an opportunity. I think we have 32 trucks out there racing with us, and it's difficult to try and be that guy each week, but that's the competitive spirit that drives me, and also the speed of the race cars.
As day turns into night at the Speedway, the spectators take in all the wonder that is NASCAR. The bright lights, the deafening sound, the wind in their face that carries the smell of burned rubber. The only way you can describe this is speed.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1 right here.
Now is the moment where perfect practice and flawless execution determine which number will rise to the top. Every calculated move is with a purpose, and that purpose is to get number 9 back in the action.
It'll be 3 wide for the lead. Be ready here.
He's in the lead with a few laps to go.
Some stragglers, some strokes up in the mix here. Take care of our stuff.
But wins are never certain. Byron says winning gives him a platform to talk about more than just racing.
I think with having Liberty University and having my faith openly on the truck around the racetrack is a neat opportunity for people to learn about the Christian faith. So that's an important part of what we do, and I think it shines a positive light on what we're doing out on the racetrack. When we're all competitive, there's still a reminder that what's important, and that's Christ.
That's great. Thank you.
I'm growing a fan base, which is really cool, and from Liberty fans to also racing fans in general that are enjoying watching the Liberty University Tundra go around the racetrack. So that's important, but you know, it's just I'm trying to grow that and trying to meet new fans along the way.
And get you another checkered flag. Yeah, boy. Yeah, baby! Awesome job. We got a great team, boys.
Byron has learned that working hard with a good team is a key to success.
Way to wheel that thing. Man, no mistakes. That was awesome. Great job, spotter, driver, crew. Great pit stop. Good job. Woo. I'm really proud of you. That was a heck of a job driving there. Y'all are awesome, dude.
Our team is really strong, and we're able to do the things that we need to do to put ourselves in position to have a shot. I'm just trying to learn as much as I can and try and continue to stay on top, because I think if you're not getting better, you're getting worse. So it's important to keep getting better each week.
Thanks to Erica Wolfolk, Mike O'Neill, and the cast of thousands for producing that piece. Great job on their part. Well, it's time now for Warm, Hot, and Fuego, the part of the show where we tell you the 3 top performers in Liberty Athletics over the past week. Now, last year on Thanksgiving, you'll remember, we had pie out here. We were sampling food throughout. You know, it was themed, Thanksgiving theme. We were both
traveling this last weekend.
We just lost track of time.
So
So our apologies. Next year, we'll make it up to you with extra pie.
Or hey, maybe even next week.
Maybe even next week. We always will make time for pie. So, having got that out of the way, Rhett, let's take a look, beginning with Warm. Who's your warm athlete for
Warm,
this week?
Antonio, I like
Antonio.
Gandy Golden. This guy's been a beauty. He's been coming on strong. Yeah, you know, just kind of got caught in my lip there, screwed me up. Lone touchdown against Coastal Carolina University. This is a guy, a rookie, that, I'll be honest, I wasn't really looking at his name coming into the season. You know, you saw he's a freshman, you thought he might get some PT, but I think he had an incredibly strong year, and he's just going to get better. He's got a great frame, huge size, soft hands. He seems to have that connection with Buckshot as well. They have that chemistry. They know where he's going to be. Like Buckshot just has that sixth sense. Hey, where's Gandy Golden going to be? So he finds him all the time. I like where his game's going. I think he's just going to be so solid for the next 3 years.
Yeah, you take a look at some of those other receivers around him. They still have a good core coming back next season. But yeah, you love that freshman to freshman connection. They certainly have that.
You got B.J. Farrow as well, who's a tall guy, nice body on him, the fact that he can get those balls up there. And then you've got Gandy Golden as well. So I feel like you kind of got like an A and a B. Yeah, you just throw it up there.
Let him go get it, Rhett.
Those Giants will bring it down.
Absolutely. All right, moving now from Warm. Who's your choice for Hot?
Richie McKay and his coaching staff.
Okay.
He's got a quality lip warmer just like me. He doesn't have it there in that photo, but he does have
thick
one.
As yours.
No, not as quite.
As well groomed.
But I talk about the coaching staff. You know, we get access kind of behind the scenes that other people don't, and just how supportive they are, how much they educate their team as the game goes on. The big thing I like this year is the fact that they've played some really tough opponents right off the bat. You know, VCU, Indiana that we were just talking about. So this team is kind of getting baptism by fire right now, but I think when it comes to Big South Conference playtime, they're going to be that much better. They've got just some great pieces, you know, like coming out. Holmesley looks good this year. I think he's just going to have he broke out last year, but I think he's going to break out even more this season. We already talk about Dawson Chen, where'd this guy come from, and look at how he's playing. So good job by the coaching staff.
Yeah, they certainly do get their team ready to go. And you mentioned it, tough start, but we think it'll pay off. All right, finally now, in Fuego. Who's your choice for Fuego this week?
In Fuego. It's probably the last time I can get to say her name all year long. Leah Clayton.
Yeah.
What a Big South Conference championship she had, and just the whole battling. On the year, she had 346 kills. That's 100 more than anybody else on the team.
Wow.
100 more.
Wow.
She can just get up there. She can block. She can dig. I don't know how many tools you have in volleyball, but if it was baseball, she'd be a 5-tool player. You know, she hits with power, and just her ability to just explode and get, just smack the ball down, that trajectory that she has, she's just so dynamic. And once again, we have this young athlete for another 3 seasons here at Liberty. I can't wait for it. Good on
it gets old. How many times can we say the future is bright?
Yeah.
But the future is bright in many different sports here at Liberty because of the young talent that they have.
Yeah.
Rhett, good job as always. I was distracted by the mustache, but we powered through. All right, when Game On returns, we tell you about our season of sharing. You can end up with a nice piece of hardware. Stick around. Game On coming right back.
What gets you out of bed in the morning? Is it just a routine, or is it something greater? Somewhere inside each of us is a calling. It's the difference between a job and a career. between the ordinary and the extraordinary, between just living in the world and making it a better place. It can't be bought. It can't be borrowed. It can't be given to you. Your calling is unlike any other, and it has to be discovered. Liberty University, right now. Discover your calling at liberty.edu.
Hi, I'm Anita, and I'm graduating with a degree in business administration and a minor in psychology. I love Liberty Online because of its flexibility. I can spend time with my family and, go back to the schoolwork later, even if it's at midnight. I can be at home, do my schoolwork in my pajamas, and it's worked out perfect, absolutely perfect. I've been able to help take care of my 3-year-old grandson while his parents work, so that's just been awesome. I didn't take classes for 20 years. I was on unemployment and applying for jobs. I had the experience, but I didn't have the degree that was usually required. Coming back as an older, more mature, wiser person, I did much better. You can do it. Don't underestimate yourself. I totally was underestimating myself, but I am smarter than I thought. I am especially excited to graduate because I will be graduating with my daughter. I can't wait to see what God has in store for my life.
Hi, I'm William Byron, driver of the number 9 Liberty University truck for Kyle Busch Motorsports. Racing in the Camping World Truck Series doesn't leave a lot of extra time in my schedule, but I didn't want to put the brakes on my education. That's why, when I'm not on Liberty's campus, I continue my studies through their online program. While in the shop with Kyle and the team, I'm able to maintain a busy race schedule and continue pursuing my degree. Keep your education on track. Check out Liberty University online and on campus.
And I see you have your MBA.
Try to find a way to really dive down in that, and I think that might be something you want to go back and look at. Eat your food.
Anna Gibson.
Yes, I do.
Hey, welcome back to the show. Right, Thanksgiving in the rearview mirror, it only means one thing. It's Christmas time.
It is Christmas time. It's right around the corner, and it's a season of sharing.
Yeah.
With that in mind, we want to tell you about a special promotion we're calling Game On Season of Sharing.
That's right. For the entire month of December, every time that you share one of our stories from our Facebook page, you'll be entered to win a full-size replica Liberty football helmet. The more you share, the better chance you have to win. It's just that easy.
So go to facebook.com, GameOnLU, all December long, and share our stories for your chance to win this helmet. Who knows, you might just be giving yourself the gift this Christmas thanks to our Game On Season of Sharing.
Yeah, win this nice little baby. Rhett's actually been wearing this around the office, banging his head into all sorts of things.
It's helped out a lot.
It has. Rhett, quickly, Thanksgiving weekend, one thing you're thankful for this Thanksgiving.
Oh, family and coworkers.
Oh my! I'm thankful for that beautiful mustache as well. Hey, thanks so much for watching us. Hit us up on social media and our website, GameOnLU.com. He's Rhett McGibbon. I'm Matt Warner, and we'll see you right back here next time.